We are 1 week out from Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's not all about Spider-Man here on Comic Book Canon! What's up, you fine people? Friday night, Comic Book Canon. Really happy to have you watching our show. It doesn't feel like it's been a week, but it actually has, I think. Did we do a Sunday show? I don't know. I'll bring Chris on and ask him that. But we got the holidays coming up. We got Spider-Man coming up. We got the Matrix coming out. We got so much going on. Hawkeye's ending. We got Boba Fett beginning. I cannot keep up with all this. So to help me, I'm going to bring on my partner in crime, my co-host and good friend, Christopher. How's your Friday going? How is that adventure? Chris, we're starting the show.
Somebody say something about Hawkeye.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. I mean, Chris, we got so much going on here. It's hard for us to keep up. It's hard for us to produce a comic book canon each and every week, yet we do it. Did we do it Sunday last week or Friday last week? I can't even remember.
You know, Jeff, I can't either. I didn't sleep much this week, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, I'm just happy you're here because I couldn't do the show without you. So
and vice versa.
Listen, I got something going on the screen. This is Chris's suggestion to play it. You know, I just gave it away right there. You know, want to see if you guys can all guess it. At some point, we're going to have a contest for this, Chris, I think. At some point, Chris and I have to figure this out. Maybe Chris has to get a monitor behind him and play some stuff. Anyways, Chris, should we just get right into it?
Yeah,
What we've been doing for the past 3-4 weeks is giving our just non-spoilerish reactions to Hawkeye. Holy cannoli, Chris. It's just, I loved it. I mean, I loved it. It's getting better and better. The series is getting better and better. The way they're in, the relationship between Kate and Clint is just fantastic. The intrigue as to what's going on here is keeping me on the edge of my seat. And all of the rumors that are out there, you're like, is it happening or not? Usually you get disappointed when those things don't happen, but it has not been disappointing at all. Chris, your thoughts?
I agree 100% with everything you just said. It's so funny. This is my personal opinion, but it's so funny because Haley Steinfeld, man, she is now ingrained as Kate Bishop. And this comes from somebody I've never really, read a lot of her in the comic books or been too involved in the character. But even outside of that, it's like she owns the role to me and is now somebody again, and I'm not, again, it's not apples to apples, but when we look at Chris Evans as Captain America, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, they will always be. Chris Hemsworth is Thor, I think she is killing it on that level in her respective lane.
Yeah.
It's a different lane, but she's doing that. So she's amazing. I love the fact that, like you said, I think every episode it gets better. The relationship, the dynamic between her and Clint and Jeremy Renner, again, with the lack of, I don't want to say, support from fans, but I've heard so many people over the years. Oh yeah, Hawkeye, he's just there. Like Jeremy Renner, what this is his time to shine, and he's doing it in such a funny kind of, not even in your face way. He's just doing his thing and killing it. You got all the characters that continue to be introduced in the show. Mm-hmm. Great casting as always, and you're automatically invested in them almost. And like you said, some things have paid off already. We still have some big question marks.
Yeah, a lot of big question marks.
Lots of big question marks. But I think this show is gonna. I know we had the big payoff in Loki, and a show doesn't need to WandaVision didn't pay off of anything, right? But it was okay because it did what it was supposed to do, and we still know that there's going to be a big payoff somewhere down the line with that. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't think there was a big payoff. We knew that Falcon was going to become Cap and get the shield and all that, but it was still a very successful A to Z show And the last episode was very emotional and real. Loki, there was a big payoff with Immortus, He Who Remains, and finally seeing Jonathan Majors. I think this show is going to give the biggest payoff yet.
Oh, whoa! You're calling it right now.
I think so.
You're just not.
And again, not necessarily. Even if it's just in a final post-credit scene or something like that. So I'm not saying it's going to be this big, but I think we're going to see it. We're going to know it, and boom.
All right, let me clarify here. You're saying out of all the shows, the MCU shows, this show will give the biggest payoff out of all of them so far.
Yes, and keep in mind, even with Jonathan Majors showing up, we knew he was cast. We knew Kang was coming, and we knew he was already cast for it.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody really expected to see him there.
No, that was a big thing right there.
Right. But I
the internet ruined it for a lot of people, including me.
What's that?
The internet ruined it for a lot of people, including me.
Yeah, damn internet.
But that was still like, holy shit! This is wow. Okay, here we go. All right, I like the bold statement. We'll see. We'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think. If you guys agree with Chris that Hawkeye will give the biggest payoff out of any of the MCU shows. What are we on? 5 shows now? 4? 4.
This is the 4th. Well, no, it's the 5th if you count What If.
What If counts.
Yep.
So out of all of those, this is going to be the biggest payoff. Okay, let us know what you think in the comments. Before we move on in the news here, just want to say what's up to Matt Stadge, Comic Toby, T-Shoe, Shane, sup from Australia, guys. Love the show. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. I like this too for Matt Stadge here. Hello, fellow expensive paper enthusiasts. Well done. Sicilian Comics, Raw Dog Comics. How are you doing? Dan De La Torre called it already. Actually, no, he did not.
Ooh.
God, I ruined it.
Oh.
What's up, Dan, though? Travis, Tubbs, what is up? 360 Comics clarified our show was Friday last week. We got super crispy comics in the house. We got Saul Marshall and Boom Goes the Dynamite. Jordan Nori. Gosh, we are doing well here tonight on a Friday. Thank you all so much for joining us. Chris, why don't we just get right into it? Lots of news, guys. As we said, it's a week out before Spiderman. Well, technically 6 days because it's Thursday night. It's a lot of the attention is focused there. What happens from these press junkets? Executives talk, stars talk, news is made. That's not really so much so in this first news story, but it is pretty. It's pretty big. It's pretty exciting, and we should all be very happy. That is right. We have a Shang-Chi sequel and more confirmed. That is right. Deadline reported that director Destin Daniel Cretton has inked an overall deal with Marvel Studios and Hulu's Onyx Collective. As we all know, Disney owns Hulu, or part of Hulu. Included in the deal is a Shang-Chi sequel and a Disney Plus series. Destin is an amazing collaborator who brought a unique perspective and skill to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Kevin Feige said. We had a fantastic time working together on the film, and he has so many intriguing ideas for stories to bring to life on Disney Plus. So we're thrilled to expand our relationship with him and can't wait to get started. As Destin said, Destin Daniel Cretton, working on Shang-Chi with Kevin and Marvel Studios team was one of the highlights of my life, and I couldn't be more excited about Tara's vision for Onyx Collective. Cretton added, I can't wait to explore new stories and build new worlds with this community. Chris, man, this is, it's not surprising, but it is great news.
Yeah, right. I think, look, since Far From Home, in going into COVID and everything that happened with the films, we had Black Widow, we had Shang-Chi, and we had Eternals now, right? That's the 3 films. And I think Shang-Chi obviously was the shining star out of all 3.
Yeah.
And I haven't updated my list of MCU movies, but it's up there. I don't know if I had to guess off the top of my head, I'd probably put it in the top 10. Maybe lower down towards the 10 mark. But I think this is a great move. Like you said, it wasn't nothing surprising.
Yeah.
Very interesting to see what they'll do with Disney Plus, and if they'll bring in just some side characters to build upon whatever, mythos. But again, it's like, this is the great thing. We talked about this ever since we knew Disney Plus was happening and what Marvel Studios was going to be doing with it. This is what you do in comic books, and they're able to utilize the big screen and the small screen and take these series and flesh out these stories just like you do in comic books. And again, as long as Marvel Studios continues to have the right people in the right places and continue to push out quality stuff, it's going to keep driving a thicker foundation of this MCU for all the fans.
It's not only like we talk about how we trust Feige and his team to cast and create and all that stuff, but guys, it's also the creators that they choose to work on these projects, to develop these characters, these storylines, and the overall arching vision of the MCU. They've hit way more than they've missed, and we all should be very grateful for that. I know that. We may sound like squealing Marvel fanboys, but they've just done an amazing job. An absolutely amazing job. I'm psyched to see what the series could be all about too. There's been a lot of talk about Agents of Atlas, which is something Chris and I maybe get into a little bit later on a little special something that y'all can win from a very special somebody. Yeah, man, like honestly, it's super exciting. I'm really happy with the continuity of the director staying with that property. He knows it better than anybody, and expanding in that Shang-Chi corner of the MCU, if that makes sense. All right, we're gonna move on to the next story, but before we do, I gotta call somebody out, man. We love this guy. I'm not sure if it's fair to Dan De La Torre, but Mark Leneker, yes, it is Superman 2. Oh, we are at the Eiffel Tower right there. Lois Lane is about to be in trouble. Superman's gonna have to throw that nuclear bomb off the Eiffel Tower and into space. Y'all know what happens after that. But Dan De La Torre and Mark Leneker, you guys are the big winners, kind of, and the comic criminal. All right, Chris, we have our next story, and that's all you, man. It's all you. It's all you. So much so, I'm just gonna bring you up on your single shot. Enjoy.
Who said no? This couldn't happen. Well, guess what? If you did, Feige told you so, or Feige proved you wrong. Because, yes, Kevin Feige has indeed confirmed that the man, Double C, Charlie Cox, will be Daredevil in the MCU in official capacity. In a recent interview with Cinema Blend, Kevin Feige confirmed that Cox would be back, stating, quote, "If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that, remains to be seen." Little juggle of words there. But look, this is all we have, but just this is so much. We talked for a long time, ever since the show was canceled, after I believe season 3 aired in 2018, if I am correct, and which was an amazing series. Everyone went to Twitter, went to social media. Charlie Cox has to come back as Daredevil, and it's happening. So we have a lot of theories on the table. We had the Spider-Man No Way Home. He's gonna show up and be, Matt Murdock's gonna be Spider-Man's lawyer. Well, if we kind of get cryptic into this, or read into it, there's anything cryptic in this little statement from Feige, it doesn't look like that's on the table. But you never know with these guys, right? We have She-Hulk rumors. Oh, he's gonna appear in the She-Hulk show. That's already in motion and soon to be released next year release. So according to Kevin Feige's quote, I wouldn't think so. We have Hawkeye with characters like Echo, who are related with Daredevil in the comic book. So could he show up at the end of I keep saying Daredevil, Hawkeye. There's so many things that we can continue to speculate on. But if we read this at face value, they don't have a plan yet. But Jeff, do we sit here and trust that Kevin Feige is being completely transparent with us, saying that, when, where, and how, that's yet to be seen?
All I'm going to say right now is Feige knows when and how he's first going to be seen. Okay? I'm leaving it at that. There are things that are out there. I don't want to say any more than that, but don't you worry. Your pretty little hearts out there. It's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen sooner than you all think. That's all I'm going to say, Chris. If you want to expand on that anymore, feel free. This is your news story. We'll give that to you, but I'm not going to say nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. I think it'll happen sooner than we think.
I'm talking really soon.
Yeah, and even if and here's the thing. Here's what's might be kind of cryptic about this. They can bring either Matt Murdock or Matt Murdock as Daredevil in a costume. They could bring him in as a cameo somewhere here and there, and maybe Kevin Feige isn't claiming a cameo to be like a plan, right? So we can still say, well, we don't know when he's actually gonna like get his own show or get his own movie or really show up to a player capacity, where he's in every episode or he has a real role. So that could be kind of the cryptic gist here. So yeah, so I'm with you. I think there's the truth is somewhere in between of everything that we're saying here. I think Kevin Feige knows more than what he's leading on to. And I do believe he has the possibility of either showing up in a cameo or a full-on, appearance and role much sooner than Kevin Feige is putting on to, let us believe.
Chris, you're a sports fan.
Yes.
Let's take the NFL, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches' press conferences.
Oh, yeah.
They don't say any more than they have to, right?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. And they lie a lot. I'm not calling Feige a liar at all. I'm not. But he's definitely treading in murky water. And he's got every right to, because there are fans out there that just want to be surprised and enjoy this whole thing. Yeah. So, no, Tishu, not the Jets or the Winnipeg Jets or the New York Jets. The Eagles did beat the New York Jets this past Sunday. Thank you very much. And by the way, Tishu, no, it's not milk and Pepsi. This is a frozen mug or glass. These are fantastic, and it's got my beer in there. So please, come on. All right, before we get started, Joe G. Well, not before we get started. Before we continue on, Joe G, what's happening? We got Raw Dog Comics. What's up? Just want to acknowledge you guys. 360 Comics. I ain't saying he's a truther. Anyways, Chris, let's just move on. Anyway, moving on. It's exciting. Charlie Cox has been confirmed by Feige. He will be the Daredevil in the MCU. But guess what? We got some DC news. That's right. Did you all know that Colin Farrell is playing the Penguin in the Batman? Did you all know that this is actually Colin Farrell here? No shit. This is Colin Farrell. I shit you not, playing the Penguin. Well, guess what? Variety reports that Farrell will return as the Penguin in his own series. This Penguin series is in development along with Gotham City PD. These are spin-offs from Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman, which is going to be released on March 22nd of next year. That's just a few months away, guys.
Yeah.
Just a few months away. Chris, seriously, Chris. That does not look like Colin Farrell at all. I wish I got an image of Colin Farrell, but and put it side by side. But anyways, outstanding job by the makeup team. Just building out that Matt Reeves Batman universe. Again, Chris and I are very hopeful about that film, but very question what DC is doing with all of these universes. Marvel's doing it, but they had a plan to do it. DC, I don't know, man. Chris, we're very skeptical. Am I right?
Yeah, I will say this. If I was an exec, one of them, and a producer, and sitting down, and we had Matt Reeves there and everything going on, Batman is a character with the set of supporting characters that can very well have its own kind of expanded, connected universe. Mm-hmm. The way they can utilize HBO Plus with films. And I think that can really work well. But the thing is this, and look, if DC as a whole, under Warner Brothers, can't get this big cinematic universe going on. Well, maybe let's start small and get our best property and see what we can do in making a fleshed out universe around him and in those characters. So, that's me sitting here being optimistic. I just, at the end of the day, again, we've been saying this for how long we've been doing this show? 20 months or however long, 18 months, a year and a half. I don't even know. 82 episodes. We've been saying the same thing. Show and prove. Show and prove. And DC just needs to show us that they can do this. Man, just about 3 months. 3 months from
March is probably
yep.
3 months.
Three months away. So I'm most excited. I thoroughly enjoyed what James Gunn did with the Suicide Squad. A bit disappointed in the last Wonder Woman movie, but I'm more excited about this movie than I have been for any DCEU movie outside of the first Wonder Woman.
Dude, the trailer looks fantastic.
Yeah.
What we've seen from it so far, it looks fantastic. All right, first, we're going to move on. But before we do, Peter Thornton, what's happening with you, sir? Thank you for joining us tonight. Chris, you got the next story. What do you got?
Well, we have more Feige talk, folks. Feige's just letting it all out. Feige talks Venom, and Venom joining the MCU. Recently, when he was speaking with Collider about the decision-making of bringing in Venom into the MCU and the thought process behind that, Feige stated, quote, "You look at the obvious comic connotations between Venom and Spider-Man, and it is inherent. So the minute Sony made their Venom movie and it worked as well as it did, and Tom Hardy became as iconic as he has become as Venom, then the obvious question is then, how do we start to merge them?" Well, I'm going to tell you something, folks. Here we go again. Kind of about what we were just talking about, Jeff. Feige already had a plan. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Feige already had a plan to say, we are going to get every single Spider-Man character that we can. And not necessarily owning them, but he said to himself back in 2008, because he already was, doing the name drop, the Easter eggs with Samuel L. Jackson in that little end credit scene that got cut where he was talking about people crawling on buildings and everything. Kevin Feige knew when Marvel Studios was created that he had to get his hands on all of these characters one way or another. So Feige is a chess player. He's a chess player. It wasn't, look at what Sony did. I gotta humble myself and sit in my humble chair and say, Sony, will you please let us use it? No, he's a chess player. He knew what Sony was going to do. He knew what they were going to do, and then he made his move. So, and I'm going to say it like this, Jeff, and let me know if you think this might be accurate. Kevin Feige knew and knows that Sony does not want to sell the Spider-Man properties.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the same situation as Fox. They're not in the same situation as who else was it? I can't remember how many people Disney has bought up now. But so anyways, when he went into engaging with them with Spider-Man, looking at their kind of, I wouldn't say failed pass, but just a mess of a pass with how they handled two separate Spider-Man franchises, he knew what he was doing. And I think at that point, Feige was working so much in a direct relationship with Amy Pascal that when they were building up to create their Venom film, Sony that is, Feige was heavily involved. And that's a fact. And Amy Pascal has came and to the public and had interviews where she's discussed her relationship in building with Kevin Feige on some of these projects, including Venom. So when they were then continuing to work out their deals, and Kevin Feige is the chess player he is, pushing and shoving. And remember what happened in 2019 with Sony getting cocky, saying, nope, we'll take it and run. Kevin Feige probably knew that there was more of a bluff, because at that point in time, Kevin Feige knew that Sony was going to have to keep Kevin Feige in their back pocket to continue to have the success that they were having, because at the end of the day, the fans want it all under one roof. And it's the best opportunity for both studios to work together. Sony never needs to sell the Spider-Man projects. Never. As long as they keep working with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios in doing these things. So I know I went on a whole detective rant of how I think the landscape played out, but I'm telling you folks, this has always been in the cards, and I think it is working out, if not exactly or perfectly, because no chess game is perfect, but Kevin Feige is that kind of guy. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible what he's got people that work with him on all of these things. He is the figurehead for the MCU, though, and he's like the quarterback. I mean, he's like Tom Brady, honestly. He doesn't get much, he gets all the credit, but, there's not much, tarnish on him in terms of wins, you know what I mean? Like, or losses. So it's quite interesting the way he's played this game, and it benefits both Sony and Marvel Studios to continue on like this. Marvel understands the creative of these characters better than anybody. Sony had problems with The Amazing Spider-Man. Those were 2 terrible movies. Terrible. But look what they've done now, working together. They can only flourish with these Spider-Verse characters or what have you. And I'm super excited to see what happens with all of this, Chris. I am absolutely. It's an exciting time knowing that they're going to continue working together. I mean, Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige did interviews together for No Way Home. That's how close that partnership is. Yeah. Normally, they're competing studios, So, anyways, and by competing, I mean Sony Studios, Marvel Studios putting out movies. Like Sony has movies that have nothing to do with Marvel, but people spend their time wanting to see films, so it takes away from other. You guys all get the competition thing. Anyways, it's nice to see. However, if Sony has ever sold those rights, Spider-Man rights go back to Marvel.
Yep.
So that's an interesting thing. So, anyways, we have a part 2 for our Venom news here. However, we want to give a shout out to Planet Arizona Comics. Happy birthday! What's up, Jeff and Chris? Catching you on the drive back from the Grand Canyon for my 50th birthday spectacular. You will always drive and listen to us. We love that you listen to us, but we are on video on demand. You can watch us anytime. Just be careful, man. And happy birthday. Goodness gracious, man. Really appreciate it. Happy birthday indeed. All right, moving on here. We got more Venom news. So, Chris, I'm just going to bring this Venom shot up. Why not? Also, Venom 3. Venom 3, that's right. In an interview with Collider, Amy Pascal confirmed Venom 3 is in the works. We are in the planning stages right now, but what we are focused on is getting everybody to come and see No Way Home. Quite interesting, Chris. There's a lot you could read into right there as to maybe there's a tie-in to what a Venom 3 would be or what the next Spider-Man trilogy will be, which is confirmed. We shall see. Chris, you have the next story, and this is just kind of a bit of a bummer. So, Chris, take it away.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're so excited with all these awesome news stories this week. Lots of good stuff, but there was some heartbreaking news this week. George Perez diagnosed with cancer. Obviously, legendary artist, widely known for his work on Infinite Crisis, the Wonder Woman Volume 2 run, Teen Titans, the Infinity Gauntlet. He did come out and making a public statement this last Tuesday that he has been diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer. It is very unfortunate, as doctors have said that the cancer is inoperable, and Perez has been given 6 months to a year to live. Perez has also refused to undergo any treatment. He did have this statement to say to his fans and to the public, quote, "I have been given the option of chemotherapy and or radiation therapy, but after weighing all the variables and assessing just how much of my remaining days would be eaten up by doctor visits, treatments, hospital stays, and dealing with the often stressful and frustrating bureaucracy of the medical system, I've opted to just let nature take its course, and I will enjoy whatever time I have left as fully as possible with my family. friends, and fans. So again, I mean, very, very sad. Perez is currently 67 years old. Obviously, as an older man, he's lived a great life and done some great things. But still, in this day and age, you know, even 67, you know, he's 67 years young, and you know, he had a lot more left. And it's a tough situation for all of us as fans, obviously his friends and family, but even, you know, your heart goes out to him and anyone that's has to be faced with this type of situation. I just, you know, I couldn't even fathom or imagine. And, you know, he is going on one last public autograph scheduling event. So, you know, so anybody that may be interested in learning more about that or taking part in that, I'm sure you can Google it and find information online. Really, really amazing of him to still put himself out there like that, knowing, I mean, 6 months to a year, that is no time at all, really, if you think about it. And it's so heartbreaking.
It really is. And like, the things you hear about him just being an incredible person as well. I don't know him. I've never met him, but just he's left an impression on me, no doubt about that. Chris, I'm speaking for you. I know he's left an impression on you. I got goosebumps talking about this shit. But like, he was in the height of his Avengers, of his, you know, Wonder Woman, of Crisis, when I started collecting, and that was just like, look at this detailed art. I didn't have the vocabulary or what have you to be able to critique it. But I know I was absolutely mesmerized by it. This guy left such an impression on the industry. It's just, I think he has eye issues. He hasn't been drawing, you know, been working in the industry for a while, but my God, man, it's just, it's sad to hear because he's an icon in this industry. No doubt about that. Absolutely. So we wish the best to him, his family, his fans, and everybody related to him. So George Perez, we salute you 100%. Guys, moving on. Last piece of news here. We have some trailers. We've decided here on Comic Book Canon, we will not be showing trailers at the beginning of the show during the news. We will be showing them at the end of the show, because if we get kicked off, we just won't come back again. How does that sound? So you'll still get your Comic Book Canon show. But Chris, I'm going to tell our friends here what they'll be seeing. The new Into the Spider-Verse, or actually Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, which is the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, and a Boba Fett trailer. So guys, stick around towards the end of the show after we do our top 10 hottest comics of the week. We will get into these trailers. But Chris, right now, we're going to do a little something that we do each and every week. Chris, can you just let the audience know what that is?
I'm extremely hyped for this week's segment because I am fresh from the comic shop in a way that I've never been before. But I'll explain that when I'm showing off my grabs for Fresh from the Comic Shop.
That's right, it's Fresh from the Comic Shop. Each and every week, you guys show us your fresh gets of the week. These guys could be, these fresh gets could be 2 days old. They could be 30 years old. If they're new in your collection, they are fresh gets indeed. You send them into Instagram, we check them out, we post them up here, and you guys can win prizes. That's right, actual prizes. I just made up that song, Chris. Do you like it?
I love it.
I made up a toothbrush song with my daughter. It's awesome. It's going to be a hit. But Chris, talking about prizes, let's talk about how people can win first.
Yep.
Then we'll talk about what they can win. Let's go for it, Chris. I'm going to bring you up because you do it way better than I do. You do.
All right. So, should we start out with this month's sponsor?
No. Tell them how they can win first, and then we'll get into the sponsor. Come on.
Well. That's how they can win, right? Because they have to follow the sponsor.
Oh man, you know what, Chris? Here's the deal. I told you do it better than I do.
Oh.
Let me just follow you. Go for it.
Oh, okay, we got it. Thanks a huge amount to this month's sponsor, Glass Cabinet Hobbies. Folks, this month the winner will receive this beautiful GCH exclusive variant cover, Origins #1. Such a beautiful cover here. that is in a CGC 9.8. I know it's just a raw book image, so you can see that beautiful artwork, but it will be beautifully slabbed up in that CGC, and a 9.8 white page is great. What you need to do in order to be entered to win this book, you have to be following Glass Cabinet Hobbies on Instagram. That's at Glass Cabinet Hobbies. Really?
Boom, right there.
You see that? I know it's a little long, but you guys, you got fingers. You know, you could thumb it. Glass Cabinet Hobbies. All right? Once you do that, you can check out their website, glasscabinethobbies.com. And on their website, you got to sign up for their newsletter. You just scroll down to see where their newsletter little thing is. And all you do is you type your little email, you know, whatever little email you want to use there, you put it in there and you sign up to their newsletter. That's all you need to do until you enter your fresh get. So then you do what you do just like every other week. You get your book fresh from the comic shop. You set it out. You snap that picture. You post it on Instagram. And you leave the hashtag FFTCS, and you make sure you @ us, tag us at Comic Book Canon on IG. And again, remember what we are looking for, the criteria. Presentation. You want a nice shot, no cloudy lens, camera shot, no light. We want to be able to see the book, make it snappy and jazzy, include some really cool whatever it is.
Get creative.
Get creative, right? The book. A unique book. It doesn't have to be a $25,000 book. It could be a book that you found in the 50-cent bin. As long as it's unique, maybe you have a story behind it. Maybe it's special to you. And that's another thing. Tell a story. Maybe it has sentimental value. Maybe you did something really cool with your kids or your wife or husband or something. All of those things are what we're going to be looking for when we are voting, as Jeff and I are going to do tonight. We're going to be voting for another semifinalist.
We will be. Chris, I'm telling you right now, I already have my winner. Or I have my nomination. For tonight. We're just gonna get right into it, guys. We are gonna get right into it. Starting off with Saul Marshall 007. Just got this signature slab back from CGC, signed by Roy Thomas. Been a fan of Brother Voodoo ever since I was introduced to the character on Facebook Marvel Games 7 to 8 years ago. That's some good stuff. You know what's weird, Chris? What is going on with you can see us as ghosts here in the back. I don't know if you see that. That is weird. I don't like it. Not one bit. I don't like it. But
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Moving on. Anyways, Saul Marshall 007. That's a great book, by the way. I'm loving this book. I was gonna pull the trigger on this book when it first came out for $60. It's definitely worth more than that from Son of Comics. Wolverine 1, CGC 9.8, John Tyler, Christopher, negative space variant. This is an instant classic. Great book. 100%. I absolutely love this cover. Don't people call it like the banana Wolverine cover? It's outstanding. This cover is outstanding. Man, this is trippy. I'm seeing myself. Woo! I don't like it. Come on.
I don't know what kind of drugs you took.
Come on, StreamYard. Just stop it, man. All right.
Hey, can I voice an unpopular opinion?
Yeah, go for it, man.
I'm not really a fan of the negative space covers.
It's fine. What do you think about this one, though?
I think they're dope, but they're not. I just don't think that they're as cool as other people think they are. But that's just me.
Okay, that's fine. I don't either, but I love this cover. Are you faulting me for loving this cover?
Absolutely not.
Are we getting into a fight right now?
I'm the biggest individual or proprietor of the statement, art is subjective. I can't stand when people knock other people for liking different things, because I'm all for, the different how we perceive what is good taste in art,
You're right. All right, we're good.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
We're good.
All right.
Had to throw that in there. It's been a while, guys. All right, moving on. Vinny Whitlock, always showing us the good stuff. Aquaman 29, the first appearance of Ocean Master. He thinks it's at a 4.550. I love this. This is a great submission here. Vinny is always sending in a variety of submissions, and
it's beautiful.
It really is. Especially, honestly, I'm not as well versed in that character. I think I first New 52. I kind of learned a little bit more about Orm or Ocean Master, and obviously him being in Aquaman, and he'll probably be in the sequel as well. So that's a great submission. All right, moving on. We got Marvel Man 616 Comics. My wonderfully awesome. This is what we're talking about, guys, with a story. My wonderfully awesome, sweet, beautiful, and amazing wife picked me up an early Christmas present today. She got me a Spider-Man Noir #1, the first appearance of Spider-Man Noir in a CGC 9.8. It's such an awesome book, one that's been on my want list for a very long time. Awesome present, Erica Booker. I love it, and I love you. I love this story, Chris. This is what we're talking about with stories. It means something to somebody. Am I right? I'm digging that 100%. Good stuff, Marvel Man 616 Comics. Moving on, we got into Oblivion, Marvel Mangaverse, Spider-Man #1, the first appearance of Manga Spider-Man Peter Parker of Earth 2301. This universe's incarnation of Peter Parker would debut in Marvel Mangaverse Spider-Man in 2002. The first of a 5-part miniseries, which was created, written, and drawn by Carrie Andrews. Andrews depicted this version of Spider-Man as a ninja in the last of the Spider Clan after his uncle Ben was killed by Venom. It's very interesting. I honestly had no idea about the Spider-Man manga. No idea. Chris, your first fresh get of the week. Share it with us, please.
All right, everyone. I did something really cool this last week. I was invited. And remember what I said in the beginning of this when I was introducing Fresh from the Comic Shop? Something that I'd never done before. I was invited to an appointment only sale.
You were talking about this last week.
Because that I was going.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I went. First off, it was in the middle of like nowhere. So I'm driving south to Sacramento, right? You know, in the big city, going south on Interstate 5, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, but I'm still on 5. But then we cut off. I got my little GPS, and then we go off, and we're on this like back road that is a 2-lane, both ways, but it's like really scary because the road isn't even wide enough really to fit both lanes. We go over this little bridge, over this little creek. Then we go up by this like Delta stream, and we're driving on this cliff on another little tiny road. And there's this steep drop off right into this like canal of water. And I'm like, where the hell are we going? And we finally get to this little tiny town. I forgot what it was called. But you could tell it was like probably like a mining town from like the 1800s during the gold rush. And it's like there's this canal, little delta stream on the hill. And then there's this hill of like old buildings that were built in the 1800s. And there's a couple of streets. And that's all. That's the town. It was crazy. But there was this little shop. It was actually an art gallery that had a whole bunch of comic books in it as well. So an art gallery / comic book store. I thought giving that story would really pay off. So it was a sale. The owner watches my channel, sent me an email, says, Chris, I love what you're doing. I want to invite you out, invitation only. Bring your kids, whatever. So I brought my little dude. We went in there, and we went ham. Just going to tell you that. There's going to be a video about it. I'm going to give it all away. There's going to be a video on my channel about it. But one of the books I picked up, great selection of books. Doctor Strange #5, beautiful early Bronze Age, early Doctor Strange in the run. These books have obviously been increasing in value. There's a $10 sticker on it. I paid nothing near that. Again, look out for that video if you want to know how much I paid. But really nice looking copy. I picked up a few Doctor Strange books, and really happy to add some more. This is one run that I'm really, really trying to complete as well.
That's a great pickup, Chris. Story was a bit long, but it was a great needed. I'm glad you didn't die. Very glad. And
can I add to that real quick?
Yeah, please do. Go ahead.
I was getting there, right? I'm like, where are we going? And I'm saying in the car, I'm like, is this someone like just trying to like kill me? am I in a horror movie right now where somebody's just like leading me to my gruesome death? Like I literally said that. So
yeah. Listen, I'm glad you didn't, and you found some books. Now, my question here is: are all your books from this excursion?
yes.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Moving on, though, we got our good friend Matt Stadge. It's been a few weeks since I picked up some older books. Was able to make a decent deal on these lower grade books. That Iron Man and Submariner #1 I wanted for a while. Those are some good pickups, Chris. And Matt, good stuff, man. I don't see any Watlock.
I still don't have Amazing Spider-Man 67 there that he got, so that's awesome.
All right, maybe you can make a deal.
I'm sure he's happy to have that in his
book. He is. Yeah, he is. Who are we kidding? Come on. Moving on, we got good friend of the show, E. Marvell, Miles Morales, number 23, King in Black. First off, guys, I love this cover, by the way.
Yep.
This issue is the tie-in to the run on King in Black by Donna Cates. Dragons are currently in New York City during the alien invasion by the God King symbiote Null. Miles and his Venom blast actually frees one of the dragons from Null's control while he receives a distress call from a symbiotic Miss Marvel, where he is lured into a trap and has to use all of his Venom blast to save Miss Marvel from becoming a permanent puppet of Null. I don't know why I read those previews. I just feel like he took the time to write it, so therefore, I'm going to read it. But that's a great pickup. This guy always has some great pickups. Azores Tiger, a.k.a. Eric. Look at this. And I love what he writes here, by the way. I don't know why this cover always reminds me of an episode of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Finally got me a decent copy of X-Men 40. Enough said. I mean, those darn kids again, right? I mean, look at it just, it kind of does scream like the monster there is what it is. That's for me. So yeah, good stuff indeed. Always Eric, aka Azores Tiger. Sicilian Comics again. By the way, he has a YouTube channel. We should get his link and link it down below. I forgot to mention that we do have the link for glass collectible glass
cabinet collectibles.
Yes, gosh.
Say it 10 times fast.
I'm not going to do that, but it's down below. No doubt about that. But Sicilian Comics, I love this. I love this right here. Thor 225 Facts, first appearance of Fire Lord. Published July of 1974. He always gives us those facts.
Yep.
Always. But Fire Lord that's a cool character. I would love to see in the MCU. 100%. No doubt about that. All right, Chris, I'm going to go first. Made it to my local comic book shop on Wednesday. I'm going second. I'm sorry. I'm just going to show you my pick right now. My first pick. I made it to my local comic book shop on a Wednesday, believe it or not, and I got a new book. I love this cover, Chris, and I know you do as well. Like, this is I feel like it's going to become an iconic cover. Not sure if there's any spec value at all. I don't care either way. Right. But Darth Vader number 18, Chris.
Wow, look at that.
How cool is that cover, man?
Look at that. I'm telling you, these, and I agree with you. I don't get spec value or not. These Star Wars books in their covers, man.
Oh my God. It's outstanding. It's just like the way the TIE fighters are just surrounding him like that with the trail. Wow. It blew me away. Super psyched. Guys, I'm not keeping current with a lot of these. I'm not even opening these books. I'm reading it all on Marvel Unlimited. Is that the name of the app?
Yep. Yep.
This series is so good. It's so good. I'm really enjoying it thoroughly. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, moving on, Chris. Moving on indeed, because we got Super Rad Comics. And he sent us a little Christmas poem. I don't know if you call it a poem. Maybe it's a character. I don't know what you call it. But I'm going to recite it to you guys. Probably be better if he did it, but here we go. 'Twas 2 weeks before Christmas. Rad's budget was blown. Shopping for presents and comics. 2 birds with 1 stone. When deep in a long box, Todd's Triumph did appear. Hark! The perfect book to spread holiday fear. Super Rad Comics. Well done.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome.
That was absolutely awesome. I loved it. You know who I love? Arana Escarlate. The only person I know that loves Ben Reilly so much. X-Men. Wait. Yeah, X-Men Red #3, Venom 30th anniversary, covered by Inyuk Lee. Nice collab to the Exile Returns arc. This is the first I think that he doesn't show. Wait, is there? I can't even tell if there's a Ben Reilly. I don't know. Anyway, Scarlet Spider, but he does love him some Scarlet Spider. Next up, good friend of the show, Nerds Being Geeks. Batman 234, written by Gardner Fox, Mike Frederick, and Denny O'Neil. Interior art by Carmen Infantino, Irv Novick, and Neil Adams. The first Silver Age appearance of DC's Jekyll and Hyde, the split-faced fiend, the Duke of Duality Two-Face. I recently picked this book up at a small comic and toy show at a Knights of Columbus Hall. The video is up of my complete haul. From that show, I have the book displayed with my replica Two-Face coin and my Two-Face statue. That's well played right there. Nerds Being Geeks. Nice. Well played indeed. Nerds Being Geeks link is down below. Please follow him. He is great. He's another one of those comic book canon alumnists, and he's gonna get one of those jackets he will never produce.
He's already a semifinalist for this month, huh?
Oh shit, we forgot to. Yeah. Wait, we forgot to do the You're going to do your book next, and I'm going to tell you who won.
We did the voting, right?
Yeah, we did. I'm going to bring that up after your book. Why don't Chris? Okay. Is this your second? Yeah, show us your second book.
Okay. What do I do next? I'll do this one next. Okay, so I'm telling you, folks, like this place had some just awesome inventory. I love Wonder Woman. I often say she's my favorite DC superhero. I know. What about Batman? Wonder Woman number 171, 12-cent, Silver Age beauty.
Ooh, look at that, man.
She is stuck in that Triton. Is that what you call those things?
Triton, yeah.
Tritons. Yep.
That's a great book. That's a great pickup, man.
Yeah, $5 price tag on that too, and I didn't even pay that.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, it's a mid-grade book, but still.
Hey, no, it's a cool book. It's a Silver Age book, right, Chris?
Yeah.
That's a nice pickup, man. That's a very nice pickup. Good stuff on that. All right. Speaking of, so he was a semifinalist, Nerds Being Geeks, Nerds Being Geeks, but Doom ended up winning 70.
Oh.
30. I don't know. Do you see that? I can't.
Doom on the.
Usually, I'll bring up the image here. And I forgot, guys. I'm terrible. You guys can see me.
Doom was standing on the Christmas tree saying "Ho ho ho."
Yeah, he was. He absolutely was. All right, good stuff, Chris. That is a great second pickup. Great pickups just in general. So moving on, we got Bobzilla. First appearance of the bombastic Bagman. Oh, yes. The most undervalued, underrated black suit to this day. I love this cover, though. This takes me back when I first started collecting. I really, really love this cover. That's some good stuff, Bobzilla. Moving on. We got, I think it was it Bobzilla who was the, gosh, this is so bad of us, guys. We usually put this in our show. I'll just blame Chris, and he'll end up blaming me. No big deal. No big deal indeed. Here we go. It was it was Bobzilla that won with the Doom. Bobzilla won. So he's moving on to the finals.
Oh.
Yeah. It's Bobzilla. So
all right.
Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Who else? Oh, this guy. This guy. Always cracking jokes in the comments. Always throwing some amazing books in our faces. Always giving us the knowledge. And he's got another great book here. Mark Leneker, Justice League of America, number 9, February 1962. Origin of the JLA is told to Snapper Carr and Green Arrow by the founding members. The story gets a big callback years later in JLA number 200. Happy to have this early DC Silver Age key, but I'd like to meet whoever decided to use a black marker over the code stamp. Do you think it was the shop doing monthly returns? I have no answer for that. I think that sucks that it's there. Although, people like Azores Tiger, they like that kind of history that's added to the book. But I feel like this is a classic cover. It's just ridiculous 60s cover. That's a good pickup, man. As usual, Mark Leneker. As usual. All right, next up, we got Cover Junkie Comics. Excuse me, guys, I just burped. Oh, yeah. With the entire Legion Quest story arc, I'm about to burp again. Legion's my second favorite character behind Doom. I have his first cameo, first appearance, and now I have the premiere story featuring Legion. Issues 40s, cover by Andy Kubert, is absolute fire. Those are some good pickups right there. No doubt about that. By the way, guys, I just want to let you know that my Apple Watch is letting me know that I'm in a loud environment. I'm the only one here. There's no other noises going on. Could it be me? I guess so. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
It's all me. Here we go. The comic couple, Chris. They're coming. You ready for them?
Oh, I'm ready for him.
The comic couple, April X Vision. First off, picked up this one. Picked this one up because my kids and I are still having a hard time transitioning from spooky Halloween to Christmas. Best of both worlds here with Elvira's Haunted Holidays #1. That is a great pickup there with all of the Christmas decorations. But we did have another holiday in between Halloween and Christmas. Pretty sure that was Thanksgiving. Sorry, April. We love you. We love Tommy, too. What has he got? This one is all my son. Tommy Boy's picks.
Aww.
Got him a Marvel Christmas Advent calendar and picked up this Miles Morales Spider-Man #7, one of his favorite superheroes. Plus, he likes the cover, said the truck has graffiti on it. That is really sweet right there.
Yeah.
I replied back to him. You know what's crazy? Tommy Boy and April's son lives in a world where he doesn't know any different about like Miles has always existed before. You know what I mean? It's just weird that Spider-Man is already ingrained into the community. It's just really cool. I think it's cool. All right. Here we go. My second fresh get of the week. Guys, I've been talking about this series since last year. I'm a little behind, but I enjoy this cover thoroughly. 100%. Guys, this is Firepower #18. I think this came out last week. But gosh, guys, you gotta read this series. It's so good. Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney, really, really good.
What number is that? 13?
What'd you say?
What number is that?
18.
Nice.
Chris,
Look
man.
at that freaking, like, is that a sunset off of the snow?
I think it's fire.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just Samney is killing it, man. Guys, please just read it. Chris, please read it. I don't know if you are. Just read it.
No, I don't own one copy of that title.
Wish I could send you all mine, but I love all mine. Moving on. We got Good Friend of the Show. Chris, I just made up a song called Good Friend of the Show. Do you like it? Should we keep it?
We're going to put a mixtape together of all the songs.
Good Friend of the Show, Joe G. Fresh from the comic shop, my collection is now complete. Unless I find a good deal on the rest of the Silver Surfer Volume 1 run in the future, I'm pumping the brakes on comics. There aren't any others that I'm attached to, and I just don't have the space to store them right now. Thanks again to Nerdy Girl Comics. She's a former alumnus as well, for facilitating this purchase. That is, I mean, look at the poster. What's going on here?
That is sick.
There's so much goodness going on here is what's going on here, Chris.
And I know Joe G is so happy to have obtained that.
I mean, heck yeah, man. That's a 7-0. Like, what the hey? You know what I mean? All right. Matt Stadge has an idea here. We should do a Fresh from the Liquor Store one week. I like it.
I'm still only coming out with my water.
That's hey, you know what, man? We don't hate you. We don't.
Y'all should have caught me 10 years ago, man.
Did you have to do the? I don't know what you're alluding to, but well, anyways, moving on.
Nope, that's just my allergies.
We got Union Josh Comics. I've been expecting you, he says, a classic book, and today for Fresh from the Comic Shop, we've got a fantasy masterpiece, Volume 1, Issue 8. This is the first reprint of Captain America Comics #7, the first appearance of Red Skull. Piece of Golden Age history with all its reprints, and it's a yellow cover, so you know I had to grab it.
All right, hold on. Is that a dog?
No, that's like some sort of, I don't know what that is. I don't know. But it's a great pickup. Union Josh, man. He picks up, he's all over the place too. Picks up some great stuff. All right, we got Good Friend of the Show. Wait, what was that the song I made? Yeah, Good Friend of the Show, Comic Toby, Station Comic fan. My Fresh from the Comic Shop is Symbiote, Spider-Man, Crossroads #5. The character on the cover looks new to me, and possibly it's a first appearance. I don't know. Those symbiote Spider-Man covers have been fantastic, though. I do know that. So that's a great pickup, man. Loving the Batman comic box you got up top, too. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Here's our good friend of the show. Another good friend of the show, Tom. Dan De La Torre. Since there's no money in the comic book piggy bank, I've been digging through my collection. Since collecting for over 40 years, I literally forgot what I have. Came up with this for this week's Fresh from the Comic Shop. Giant size Fantastic Four #4, the first appearance of Multiple Man. Look, man, we appreciate you greatly, but I'm confused if this is actually Fresh from the Comic Shop because we have strict rules.
Yeah,
love you, Dan.
It's fresh from a old bin that was stashed away in his closet or something, I think.
And that is not.
I think that's what Dan's alluding to.
That is not a comic shop.
You know, I'm gonna play. We're gonna play good cop, bad cop here again. I bet Dan got just as much excitement pulling out a forgotten book out of a random old box as you would getting it fresh from the comic shop.
Yo, man, I completely agree. Too. I completely agree, but guess what? That does not make it fresh from the comic shop. And we're moving on. And guys, I have to say, God, I messed up big time. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 where I did not end up copying what you posted in terms of I suck, guys. So I'm really not happy about it, but here we go. We'll give it a go. How about that? We got Kamikaze with a nice Spider-Gwen cover. That is a gorgeous cover. Good stuff, Kamikaze.
Hold on a minute here.
Go for it.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. We're gonna do something here. Hold on.
What are we gonna do?
Kamikaze with some Spider-Gwen action. Oh man. I was gonna try to find it, and you guys are just amazing because look at all of these submissions.
I know, man. That's the thing. And I've never done this before. I feel really bad for you guys. I guess it's about 7 of you. I did not put down your text from your post, and I am truly sorry about that. So
I will say, is everyone using the hashtag FFTCS though?
Yeah, man. We got over we have a few thousand submissions overall from when we started.
Oh, here we go.
You know what? Screw this, guys. We got this. Actually, we can do this.
Yeah. Can I say it? Or do you got it? I got it right here.
All right. Yeah, go for it, man.
Kamikaze says some Gwens for a top variant Thursday. Nice little pickup from a great Northern LCS, Big Bari. Big B Bari. Huh. Hashtag FFTCS.
Okay, all right. I'm liking this flow. All right, next up, Chris, you ready?
For my next one?
I'll do it. How about this? I'll do it.
I got him. Yeah, I'm ready.
We got C to the G right now.
Oh, what's he got?
Well, what you do is you put it in recents, and it'll go in that order.
I got it.
C to the G. Ooh. This is good stuff.
Look at that. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. What a C to the nice. He says, I'm not into the whole mystery box thing, but I had to give this one a try. Shout out to my local shop, A1 Comics. He says, I got issues I needed, already had, and a few that are new to me. Definitely worth the price and value. Might cop another box. Look at that. A1 Comics love. Right on C to the G.
That's outstanding right there. Those are some great pickups. This is great. This is a great flow, guys. Great flow. Here we go. We got Raw Dog Comics.
Ooh, yeah. All right, yeah. Raw Dog Comics says, Wolverine 2, I'm super excited that this book is back in my collection. Another book I had in my collection as a kid that was lost along the way. I picked up this beautiful book this week at the LCS for a fair price. All it needs is a clean and press. Happy Friday, and never give up the hunt. Stay safe, everybody.
Good stuff there. Nice. Good stuff, Raw Dog Comics. Really loving that. Next up, we got Nori Jordan. Look at this stash. Look at this pickup. Oh, he loves Thunderbolts. Loves them.
Okay. Before I read Nori's statement, Nori, if you're Jordan, if you're watching, I went ham on some Thunderbolts at that middle of nowhere shot, I'll be showing that off in my video. I was thinking of you the whole time I was pulling out all these Thunderbolts. So Nori Jordan says, though, hashtag FFTCS. I got in a bunch of fun stuff, but only so much room to take a pick. I figured I would go with my newest Thunderbolts issue, which I am sure is a shock to many. I got in a CGC 918 King and Black T-Bolts, some hard-to-find variant covers, and a couple more number ones to add to my stack. It is a long road to reach my goal of getting every Thunderbolts book from all their series, but each week brings progress. Have a great weekend, everyone. And I'll say, man, Nori Jordan, what a completist here. I'm so excited. I'm watching him, his journey here.
I know. It's incredible, and I am all about it, to be honest with you. Yep. All right, moving on. We got 79 Lines, a.k.a. Surge. Boom. Look at that beautiful John Byrne cover.
All right. We got hashtag FFTCS. He says, hello, comic book community. How's everybody doing? That's nice. Friday. One thing about conversation to keep in your mind of the reality of things, as I picked up this last time on Tuesday, Time Travelers Comics in Berkeley. Ooh. You can find this to be a great read for me to settle down after things cool off after what happened this past Thanksgiving with my grandmother's passing. Oh, man. So sorry to hear that, Serge.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, I think everybody has been open, the family and the comic book community. Hug your loved ones, the ones you love. And I'd like to thank Jeff and Chris. Thank you. I hope everybody have a good holiday. Serge, definitely you're in our thoughts. Grandmas are amazing. And, thank you for even coming and taking the time to, go comic hunting and share what you love with us while you're, going through this. So
definitely, you are here every week, and we appreciate you and your contributions. So we're sorry for your loss, and it's definitely a hard thing. Thank you for sending this in. Thank you again for supporting, and we are here to support you as well.
Absolutely.
So. All right, moving on. We do have Neighbor to the North.
Ooh, what do we got?
I love these. I love all of these pickups. I
White
love
box. What's that in the middle? Contest of Champions.
Yeah, number one. That was one of my fresh gets from last week.
Nice. All right. Neighbor to the North says, have you ever brought a box of books to the shop to trade and a book slipped into the box that shouldn't have? Well, Contest of Champions 1 was that book. Finally got it back in a trade to the same shop just in time for First Issue Friday and First Appearance Friday. The White Fox Key Trio is complete again. This is 100% certified FFTCS and Karmic Comma.
Guys, I'm loving these pickups here, especially White Fox.
Yep.
It seems Marvel is really kind of pushing her out there more and more. You got a ton of these, for her first appearances in Contest of Champions. That's her first kind of, I guess, it's not really a series. It's Future Fights, I think it's called. It's not an ongoing series, but that's a fantastic cover. I would be picking these up if I were you guys, to be honest. I'm just throwing that out there. I really think that they're going to put a lot of the APAC characters out there, the Agents of Atlas. So be on the lookout for those. You can still find them in dollar bins. And our last submission of the week, Christopher, is another Comic Book Canon guest co-host alumnus, somebody who's entitled to a jacket, somebody who has won fresh from the comic shop, and we owe him something. You and I really got to talk about this. That's right. It's 360 Comics. And by the way, his link is down below to his YouTube channel. Chris.
I love this book, by the way.
Yeah.
360 Comics says, feeling pretty in pink with this underrated key. I agree. That I got from a Facebook sale for just $30. We've got New Mutants Annual number 2, the first appearance of Psylocke in and I'm adding this in a U.S. comic just to for context sake. Look at what he continues to say. She debuted in British comics as the sister of Captain Britain, eventually taking on the mantle herself, but made her American debut here, taking on the name Psylocke. Look at me I should have just read what he had to write. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm new to this, aren't I?
You're doing a great job. Like, really good. We're
He
going
goes
to
on to
retake
say-
this fresh from the comic shop flow. I'll tell you what.
All right. He goes on to say, as a fixture of 1990s X-Men in her multiple forms, she was a mainstay throughout my childhood. I'm hoping she makes her way to the screen once the X-Men enter the MCU. 360. I agree with you, and I got my own personal Psylocke right here.
Wait. What?
Right here.
Wait. What? Oh, you do.
It's a Psylocke, everyone. If
Well,
you
purple. It's purple.
Psylocke, it's a Psylocke. All right, Psylocke's gonna go hang out over here and watch the show.
All right, so that right there, it ends the submissions. I have one, obviously that's way ahead of the pack, and then I have a second one. But before we get to that, you and I, Chris, have to show our last fresh gets of the week. You're first, Chris. Go.
All right. Again, from the super cool journey that I went on, this needs a press, and I can't wait till I do because it's going to be an awesome before and after press. This is Detective Comics number 388. Amazing. This is 15th Center, 1969.
Woo!
Joker cover. Look at that.
That's hot. Oh, man, that is outstanding, dude.
Yeah, a lot of finger crinkles going on that can come out with the press. It does have a little bit of piece of tape right here. But once I press this up, it's going to present really nicely. And look, man, I got this for, again, dirt cheap. These, like, late Silver Age and in the early Bronze Age, we know that, what was it, Batman 283? Yes, somewhere around there. Neil Adams' first Joker cover that was like, the pretty much the reimagining of the Joker. So all this going on around that same time. So if you can get your hands on these Joker covers from this era, they do usually go for a solid higher tier price. So any condition, any grade for me, happy to
Can you put it up to the camera, please? That is a great Joker cover. Oh, man. Screams like 60s goodness, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, that's a great pickup. All right, guys, I'm going to bring up my third fresh get of the week. But before I do, what's up, guys? Me and the wife are at the company Christmas party. Snuck in real quick. You guys are amazing.
Nice.
We love you guys. You're probably doing shots of Fireball. Anyways, all right. Chris, I'm going to steal your thunder for something that's coming up, a segment that's coming up. Because I got something this week that I've been eyeing for quite a while. And you're gonna, I know what you're going to say.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is it Warlock in the Infinity Watch #1?
Got nothing to do with Watlock. But I know for a fact you're going to appreciate it. You're not going to be pissed or anything, but it's teasing something coming up in this episode. Okay, Chris? It's Moon Knight #1 newsstand. Nice. It's a nice copy, I gotta say. I would say it would probably be a 9092. However, I mean, there's a couple spine breaks right here, or spine ticks right here, color breaking. But Chris, there's this right here. I did not notice when I purchased it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to come out with a.
Does it have a texture when you feel it?
I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. Oh no, I did take it out of the bag. I didn't touch it, but anyways, I was very happy to get this. I have been eyeing this for a while.
That's good. That's good, man. I think look, with that book, I mean, there's potential ebb and flow once we get the Moon Knight show and how that pans out. But this is look, this is one of those, in my humble opinion, that is here to stay, even with your short-term ebb and flow. I think getting this book right now is, if as long as you're educated of what you're doing, it's still a great buy, because I really think Moon Knight, the legend of Moon Knight, so to say, is gonna freaking keep growing, man. This character,
no doubt.
Oh my gosh, there's
no doubt.
Like 10, 20 years from now, what these key books are gonna be like.
No doubt. I agree, man. Anyways, I was very happy to get this for a solid price. So I used a coupon off of Mercari, which is great. Nice. Yeah, so I got it for cheap. Not cheap, but definitely cheaper than it's selling for. It's a newsstand.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
All right. Chris, right there, man. that ends our all of our submissions for Fresh from the Comic Shop. We have a decision to make, and I alluded to the fact that I already had my selection. Before we talk, Serge Henderson, he came in late. Hey, is that Superman? Christopher Reeve, Superman? Absolutely is. It's Superman 2. They're in the White House right now. Zod, look at him. Look at him. Rise before Zod. He's going to say kneel before Zod at some point, I'm sure. Good eyes there, though, Serge. All right, moving on, Chris. Yeah, man, it is. No doubt. Good call. I know there's a delay, so I'm glad you. Yeah, it's Superman 2. Good one. That's a good one. All right, Chris. What are we thinking? How do we want to do this?
I got a winner.
I have a winner.
I got a winner. I would like to give a big shout out to some of my, runners up. Big shout out to Joe G for many reasons, but for Fresh from the Comic Shop, I really appreciate his submission today. That art piece behind the book. I know what this means to Joe, so that's huge. And then just the presentation with that amazing Galactus art was really, really awesome. Also, we know that this guy kills it every single week, Azor's Tiger. But I really liked the little humor that he put behind it, and it really spoke to the liveliness of the cover. Reminding him of Scooby-Doo, and a very, very, very simple nuances though. But it made me appreciate his post. So big shout out to those two. But I got somebody who I think just killed it, hands down.
I want to give props too to Marvel Man 616 Comics. Yes. I really like the story of how his wife got him this. Yes. They've been having a tough time with the COVID and stuff, but I'm really glad that they've recovered. And I think it's just a sweet gift for I don't know if his wife is into comic books. If you could let us know, Marvel Man 616, we'd appreciate it. But it's great. He was in Spider-Verse. I don't know if he may be in the sequel. So anyways, that's cool.
I did write his name down too, actually.
That was very, 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 very cool. But I mean, for me, there's a clear-cut winner because of what he did, what he said. It was awesome. So Chris, should we there's no way that we have different selection here. So we'll say it on the count of 3.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Super Rad Comic!
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
That's right. Super Rad Comics. Chris, I'm just going to read it again. Going to read it again, but first I have to pull him up right here. I mean, he's been a finalist before. He's in the semifinals here. Let me just bring this up. Where are we? Okay, he wrote this little, what do you want to call a poem, Chris?
Yeah, man.
Okay. 'Twas 2 weeks before Christmas. Rad's budget was blown. Shopping for presents and comics. 2 birds with 1 stone. When deep in a long box, Todd's Triumph did appear. Hark! The perfect book to spread holiday fear. I mean, super rad. That's great.
Yes, it is.
I mean, Planet Arizona, pure poetry.
Yep.
Pure poetry.
We need to remind people that when they do the voting, when the fans and audience does the votings on Instagram, you guys got to keep in mind that what they put on their posts, the stories and these types of things, add to why they become semifinalists.
And by the way, he says he had too much time on his hands. You know what? We love you anyways. It's just fantastic. So you are moving on to the semifinals. Somebody is going to be going up against Bobzilla. We'll pick out your adversary next week's show, which is actually on Sunday the 19th. We forgot to mention. Sorry about that. But anyways, before we move on to the next segment of the show, Chris, let's tell them how they can win or how they submit in the Fresh from the Comic Shops, what they can win, and who our sponsor is.
All right, guys. Again, for this month, big thank you to Glass Cabinet Collectibles. What you need to do in order to win the beautiful, beautiful slab. Shall we bring it up one more time?
Yeah, we shall we?
All right. CGC 9.8 Origins #1 CGH exclusive variant that is, again, a CGC 9.8. You need to follow them on Instagram at Glass Cabinet Hobbies. Can we bring it up?
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, Glass Cabinet Hobbies. All right. And then also check out their website at glasscabinethobbies.com and sign up for their newsletter with your email. And once you do that, you will be entered to win as long as you submit your fresh get. Go on to Instagram, take your picture, post your book, hashtag FFTCS, at us at Comic Book Canon. And of course, the criteria: something fresh, something unique, something creative, presentation. All right. All of those things. Unique book, unique story. We got one more week. You guys have one more chance to become a semifinalist for this book.
Absolutely. This was a fun Fresh from the Comic Shop, I got to say. Oh, by the way, the link is down below to sign up for their newsletter. Please do. Please do. Thank you very much. And guys, that concludes Fresh from the Comic Shop. Chris, this was definitely a fun one. No doubt about that. Super rad. Outstanding work. Outstanding work. Congratulations. All right. But right now, Chris, we have our next segment coming up. Before we do, where are we in Superman? Oh, this is brutal, guys. He loses his powers. Zod has taken over the presidency. I think he became president. I don't know. He's at the lowest point here, guys, and he's got to make it back to the Fortress of Solitude, which he left. He left his powers there too to be with Lois. This is a spoiler, but this movie's over. How many years? It's like 32 years old. Anyways,
42.
It's not 40. Holy shit. It's 42. Oh my God. Anyways, all right. Christopher Reeve is my Superman. I'm just going to say that right now. Chris.
Yep.
Right now, here we go. We got the top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of cover prices data.
Look, it's getting so hot in here.
Getting hot in here.
My jacket.
It's literally getting hot in here right now because I have not turned off my heater and I'm just getting hot. That's good though. It's like 30 something out there. But here's the deal. The top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of cover prices data. That is right. Real sales data. Not Chris and I coming up with shit to throw up against the wall and be like, this is the top 10 hottest comics because we said so. No, sales data based off of what is being sold in the marketplace. We are not sponsored by Cover Price, but we respect them. They're kind of like a stock market index. We follow it, and it's a great tool. Just want to throw that out there. But they released their list on a Monday, right? Our show is live on a Friday. What we like to do is just go through that top 10 list, and Chris picks out the 3 most interesting books off of that list, and he tells you why. And I say this each and every week, Chris. Interesting does not mean good. Am I right?
It was all pretty good this week.
No, I'm saying, though, in general.
I know, but I'm happy that this was a great, in my opinion.
All right.
A lot of good stuff.
That's good. I'm just throwing it out there, though, because we have had some interesting picks that were just like, this is garbage.
Yep.
And you were upset. You wanted to punch somebody. Not somebody, something. I don't know. Anyways, here we go. We're just going to get right into the top 10 hottest comics of the week if you'll allow us. Will you all allow us? I think you will. Because a lot of you know what I noticed, Chris? A lot of them like to, a lot of everybody watching our audience likes to be like, oh, I have 2 out of 10 of those or what have you. It's definitely a fun game. It's definitely a fun game. All right, here we go, guys. At number 10, we have Daredevil 51, The Origin of Echo. Number 9, we have Daredevil. Number 10, second appearance of Maya Lopez, a.k.a. Echo. At number 8, we have Sleepwalker. Number 1, the first appearance of Sleepwalker. At number 7, we have Moon Knight. Number 1, looks familiar. At number 6, we have Hawkeye. Number 1, wonder why. At number 5, we have Daredevil. Number 11, the first appearance of Maya Lopez as Echo. At number 4, we have Epic Anthology Presents Sleepwalker, the number 1, first appearance of Sophia Strange. Number 3, we have Animal Castle, number 1. Number 2, we have Spider-Man 2099, number 1. And at number 1, we have Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man 365, the first appearance of Miguel O'Hara, a.k.a. Spider-Man 29 in sneak preview. Why am I yelling, Chris? Why?
Because you're so excited and you just can't have it. You're about to lose control.
I definitely am. By the way, I just want to give an update on Matt Stadge. He started with the wine, then the port. Now he's finishing with a Guinness Blonde. Good choice. Planet in Arizona has 3 out of the 10. Shut up, 360. Shut up. He has 9 of these this week. He just doesn't have Animal Castle, which basically just came out. Yeah. And Matt Stadge does have 3 out of 10. All right, Chris. An interesting list. You actually like this list, right?
Yes. 4 Hawkeye spec books, none of which I picked because I could have just talked about those books for an hour. So shout out to those books making the list. Loving the show. But there's 3 other books that I wanted to talk about tonight. Shall we get into my third pick? Drum roll.
Do it each and every week. Go for it, Chris. What do you got for your third pick? Drum roll, please. I am a drummer. I do not have a snare drum, though.
Sleepwalker number 1 is my third pick.
Boom.
Sleepwalker number 1. I did a video some months back now about undervalued, affordable number 1 Marvel books. And this was on the list. And people were like, huh, are you punking us? I was like, nah, man, I ain't crazy. Look at this book make the top 10 list. Let's look at what it did. 140% upward trend in sales. Listen, guys. $225 CGC 9.8 high sale. Holy. All right. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm hyping myself up because I talked about this book. Hey, you might want to find it. Find it in the dollar bins. Maybe find a good high grade for under $5, something. Hey, why not, right? This is why this book is hot. There's a couple things going on. 1, there is a Marvel Legends toy line being released in early 2022. And one of the toys is revealed to have a codename, Sleepy. But get this. There is so much speculation going on around this that people aren't just thinking it's Sleepwalker. There are a couple other characters that people are assuming this to be. Oh my God. That's problematic, right? That's why I'm kind of like, if you can hear me. The other reason is that there's an insider. You know how I feel about some of these insider reports. There is an insider that has reported recently that a Sleepwalker project is in development at Marvel Studios. Okay. Here's the thing. There is no confirmation of this insider's report. It's basically just a rumor by somebody that has, no factual, feasible information. Here's my thoughts on this. I always say, if you're a fan of the comic books, especially Marvel, if you're a fan of Marvel, you read the books, you're educated to the books, you collect the books, you watch the shows, the TV shows, the movies, you can go back to the books and try to put some pieces together and say, what are some things that I could get ahead of the curve? So many people want to wait for these rumors or whatever the case may be. A toy. I mean, come on, guys. Whatever. And then everyone jumps on it at the same time. To the price, right? I didn't even look at what the raw books were doing. I didn't even want to look at that right now. Here's my concern with this. This toy comes out and it's not Sleepwalker. What's that going to do? It's going to turn people away. If this insider has this rumor wrong, it's going to turn people away. We're at a point in time right now where you have to take caution and take heed to all these variables, because I absolutely believe that Sleepwalker could be a character that is brought into the MCU. Why not? Marvel has so many properties to be used. So you look, hey, it's almost inevitable outside of maybe Paste Pot Pete. I mean, that's one that, poor Pete. You really should be looking at these books, these types of books, before any of this, oh my God, there's a toy coming out, codenamed Sleepy. I mean, it could be a Seven Dwarf, if all I know. I mean, Marvel is owned by Disney. I don't know, guys. You know, you got, and now if this rumor pans out to be true, though, from this insider, then you have a situation where what's going to happen if we get any more confirmation? The book's going to go up. So if you buy it now, and it turns out to be true and the book goes up, well, then you win. So what am I here to tell you? I'm not here to tell you to buy it or to not buy it. Just take caution, because you should have bought it some months ago when you could probably still find a bunch of copies in the dollar bins. But hey, for me, I'm happy it made the list. The reasonings why are a bit sketchy, and we have to be careful. So proceed, speculate, and invest and collect at your own risk. I would love to see Sleepwalker in some capacity, in some form or fashion, in the MCU at some point in time.
Sure. Yeah, Planet Arizona Comics brings up a good point. Like when Dark Hawk was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 line and his book Spike, that turned out well. I like the Sleepwalker book, and I guess it's I remember picking it up off the rack. I don't have it anymore, but I remember really liking it and just being excited about a new character. You had new characters back then like Speedball and Sleepwalker, the new Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch. Those are like exciting to me because, you know, when I started collecting, you didn't have many of those that Marvel was really pushing, but Sleepwalker was one out of nowhere, I felt like, that they created. I don't know the story behind it, but anyways. So I'm not saying I like it for spec value. I just like it in general is what I'm saying. Who knows? Maybe they will. It would make sense in terms of the kind of mystical side of things, wouldn't you say, Chris? Having a Sleepwalker in the MCU.
Absolutely. And this is even a character that if Disney gets their, guts up or cojones up, they can do something on Hulu to really make this a dark show and bring in another side of the Marvel universe. So
definitely. All right, we're gonna move on to the next book. Before we do, Nerds Being Geeks always ask me every time, what are you drinking each and every week? I'm sorry, I'm finishing off the Thanksgiving stash. This is a shout out to Sith Lordly. It's the Mick Ultra. Okay, sorry guys, I don't have any more Guinness left, so it's what I had.
I'm drinking my alkaline water,
and that's Trader Joe's brand.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on, Chris. We have another book. We do 3 books each and every week. Let's get to your second book, shall we?
Jeff, you were probably happy when you saw me put this book on the list, because guess what? You picked it for your fresh get, and that is Moon Knight #1. Like I was kind of hinting at, Jeff, when you were showing this off, Moon Knight is the man, and I think he's going to be the man for a long time. Let me explain, but first let's look at these numbers. 148% upward trend in sales this week, with the CGC 9.6 hitting $430. It's solid. I know that a 9.8 broke 1,000, I believe, back in October, if I remember correctly. I saw a couple recent ones that were more around the 900 something mark, but still, hovering around that same value. 9.6 through my research over the last couple of months, though, the 9.6 has been moving, which is very interesting because usually as you see different grades move, you see a similar trend where the values of all grades kind of go up. So very, very interesting take. But overall, this book has been moving up, including raw copies. We are getting closer to the Moon Knight series, and people are just getting totally excited for it. And so what I was saying to you earlier, Jeff, was that whether this book has ebb and flow for the short term, I think the book's going to keep moving upward until we get the show. We haven't even got a trailer yet, a full official trailer. We got that little sneak peek.
Yeah, barely anything, which is exciting.
Right. But just that was just freaking mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
When we get a trailer, anything Moon Knight is going to, people are going to go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the show is going to disappoint. I think the show is good. We keep talking about these shows, right? It seems like how can they keep getting better and better, doing different things and satisfying us in such a way? I think Moon Knight's going to do that. Moon Knight is a character I really feel that you could put in the same category as like a Wolverine, where, you know, they're a character that was introduced during that era, you know, the Bronze Age era, and has always had kind of like a cult following, but never really got, you know, that type of push and publicity as Wolverine did. And then, though, you know what? A lot of people probably don't even think about, because you look at the X-Men movies pre MCU era, and I know that a lot of things were happening in the 2000s and whatnot, even with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. We realized that superhero movies can be done and they can be good movies. Not to the level of MCU, right? But then we had this guy, Hugh Jackman, though. Hugh Jackman, at that point in time, was the guy who said, I'm going to play a comic book character and I'm going to kill it. And Wolverine really propelled even more as a household name outside of your casual collectors or diehard collectors, but to the casual fans and moviegoers. I think that Oscar Isaac is going to do that to Moon Knight.
Woo, that's a good call, Chris. That is a good call.
And what that's going to do to all of his books 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I can't even put like a number to calculate out there. Like I said, short-term ebb and flow here and there, new floors being met, though, of course. But when we talk about long-term, and remember, this book is his books are similar to Wolverine's books, because you got the first appearance, the second appearance, then you got the first solo title or first solo story, and then you got his first solo title right here. You know, and we look at Wolverine, where you have the first cameo and then the first full in the Hulk 181, then his early appearance in Giant Size X-Men #1, and then you have the limited series in that Wolverine #1 that's been just flying through the roof in and of itself as all of his bigger books continue to do so. Similar trends going on with all the Moon Knight keys. So this book alone, we're not talking about Werewolf by Night 32 or any of those. We're specifically talking about this book. I do think this is going to be another one as a Bronze Age book still. That's going to be a long, solid, long-term investment that's going to keep moving up. That's what I got for you.
I do like 360 here. He says a very bold statement by you, but entirely possible in the hands of Isaac. I'm very high on what they're going to be doing with this series. There are okay, I may be a poser because I got this book, right? I've never been a diehard fan. I've read, throughout the years, I've read Moon Knight. I know his story, but I'm not in the cult of Moon Knight. And Chris, you have to admit, there are some fans that are they're just cultish about their love for Moon Knight. There's nothing wrong with it by any means, but I feel like that cultish kind of vibe, that mentality is going to expand. I can name one person who works for a rather large publication that I'm hoping to get on the show. He's a diehard Moon Knight fan. I know he has a Werewolf by Night 32, no doubt about that. But I agree. I'm excited about all things Moon Knight. And so is like the people at the MCU. That's what they know. They know how popular he can be.
Yeah, and we often talk about, we know that DC and Marvel have SWAT spit, so to say, with so many characters. I don't
know if I'd use that expression, but okay.
Marvel, creates a Submariner, and DC creates Aquaman. DC creates Darkseid. Marvel creates Thanos. I mean, they've done so much, and you see the similarities between, Moon Knight and Batman, so to say, and all these different elements that can say, oh, there's so much here that's within other characters. You can even relate like Moon Knight to some other Marvel characters, like, he's just a playboy billionaire like Tony Stark and all these things. When you look at the complexity of the Moon Knight character, though, in terms of the person, Mark Spector, and the mythos, of the Moon Knight mantle and where the powers come from. It really brings in a very, very unique story and setting that I think is, I mean, I can't on that level, I can't think of another character that I could put in that same category. And it almost, and again, they're completely different, but for argument's sake, it reminds me in a way to being similar to what Spider-Man was in his era. Because remember, up until that point, even, we had Fantastic Four, we had Hulk, and we know that even then, when the Stan Lee era of the Silver Age of Marvel started, we know Stan had a vision. But it was really in Peter Parker's Spider-Man where that vision came to fruition. And that vision was, how do we take this underwear, spandex wearing, cape wearing, here to save the day, just, this very punctual, run of the mill superhero comic book, and say, we're going to make it relate to the everyday person. We're going to take a young kid that has real problems, goes through real things, death, tragedy, responsibility, all of these things, and flesh that out. And then readers went into that and said, this is something so new and I can relate to it. So again, I'm not calling Mark Spector Moon Knight Spider-Man, but if you look at the history of comic books and characters up until that era and what Moon Knight was when he was introduced, you took a whole nother level of a dive into complexities of a superhero character on top of these deep ancient mythos.
Yeah,
I could go on for days.
On top of the kind of the multiple personality disorder.
Exactly. So
that's unique. That's it's not something that's really talked about. I'm not sure how prevalent it is in terms of like mental. I don't know I don't want to say a mental disease. It's not a mental disease or what have you, but it is a mental. I don't know what the appropriate term is, but it's something that's real, something that people do deal with. It's probably rarer than a lot of other things like anxiety or depression, things like that. But it's an interesting aspect to kind of touch upon, especially in a superhero universe. And I'm sure they'll handle it in a way that's respectful of people or anybody that's associated with anybody that does have something like this. So, I don't even, it's not even a mental illness 360. Anyways, multiple personality disorder, but it's going to be interesting. I'm excited for that. I don't want to harp too much on Moon Knight number one, because I got the issue and it's going to make it seem like I'm pumping and dumping here.
Gosh darn it, Jeff, you and your pump and dumps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm known for.
It up.
That's what I'm known for. So, Chris, why don't we move on to your number one pick from this list this week? Chris, what do you got?
Well, again, I'm going to reiterate. I wanted to pick all the Hawkeye books and just talk about them for 2 hours.
Because you're a pump and dumper. Pumper and dumper.
Because I am a pump, because I own them all. Just kidding. I don't even think I have any of those Hawkeye books that were on the list. Just being honest. Hawkeye spec books, that is. My number one book, though, I was so excited. My son ran into the room telling me, did you see this? Did you see it? I'm like, what? No, what is it? And I went and watched it. And it was a little sneak peek of the new Spider-Verse film. And we got an even deeper look into Spider-Man 2099, Miguel. So, of course, his books made the top 10 list this week. My number one pick was the number one book on the list. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 365. Now, I wanted to battle between if I wanted to pick Spider-Man 2099, which was the second book on the top 10 list on cover price, or this one. But I picked this one because I really wanted to talk about the numbers and to talk about the controversy over this. Looking at the numbers, after that trailer dropped for Across the Spider-Verse, this book sold 189 copies online only. And that's not even everywhere online. They sold 189 copies in 2 days. 2 days. That's if you guys don't. I mean, look in the big scheme.
Wait. Can you say it in 2 days?
2 days.
Wow.
2 days with a high CGC 9.8 of $540.
Woo!
Now get this, a newsstand 9.8
Woo!
sold for $1,750, best offer accepted. So again, I with my experience with best offers accepted, I wouldn't put that under 1,600 at all. I probably put it closer to 1,700 still with the best offer accepted. And it was from mycomicshop.com. So I know how they work. They're not going to take a lowball offer. So unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. But $540 for, your direct CGC 9.8. So here's the thing. We know, or if you don't know, you're going to know now. This was an anniversary edition that had some snippets of sneak peeks in the back of the book. And one of them was a sneak peek of Spider-Man 2099. But it was a sneak peek of number 2 on the list today, Spider-Man 2099, number 1. So what does that technically make it? It makes it a preview. All right. So there is this argument of what the first real appearance of Spider-Man 2099 is. And it's not the cameo full necessarily, because if you look at Hulk 180 and 181, well, they're both appearances. They're both official appearances because it's not like a preview or an ad, like Daredevil, 115, where it's the ad of Hulk 181 and you see Wolverine. You don't count that. This is basically a preview. But I've talked about this before. This preview was in a newsstand book. And I don't mean newsstand in terms of it was a book that was on the shelves. It was a priced book that you could buy on the primary market. Whereas previews are a solicited item that are free. Definitely different. 2 completely different things. So when you look at the labels of the books, like see how CGC labels this as the first appearance of Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, I think it's because they are looking at it in this fashion. This is a primary market book that was not solicited as some type of previews order form or order book. This is an actual comic book. But there are still some that will argue. So what is it? First appearance, preview, does it really count? In my humble opinion, and nobody's going to be right about this because this is the problem a lot with comic books. There's no accountability, no entity, no bureaucracy holding these things in stone. But my humble opinion, this is how I would call it. I would call this a cameo appearance. I would call this a first appearance in cameo. Or you can even say first appearance in cameo in preview. You can add that there. And I would say that 2099 number 1 is his first full appearance. That's how I would do it. And again, why would I do it like that? Because this wasn't a solicited previews book. It was an official bar-coded primary market comic book that you bought off of the shelf. And that's the differentiator, in my humble opinion. With that aside, I have high hopes for 2099. I've always been a Spider-Man 2099 fan. When the run came out in the 90s when I was a kid, I picked him up every month and I read the story. I even read the story a few years back again. So, and while we're on the subject, Oscar Isaac. So I'm happy for this character. Again, I would be very cautious with these 9.8s right now, guys. There's so many raw books out there, that you can save some money with and just try to press and clean it and send it in to get graded, hoping to get a 9.8. That goes with Spider-Man 99 #1 too, because similar thing with those prices as they continue to climb.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. A lot of people have differing opinions, especially in the comment section here. People say 2099 is going to jump big. People say that this one's going to jump big. I really don't know where to weigh in on this. I do know, and again, this doesn't. You say I can't remember what your phrase is. You'll say it after I say it. I do know that the print run is probably very high for this book. But that doesn't mean much about demand. What's your saying? What do you say all the time, Chris?
Yep. Supply only equates to what is available on the market at any given time. So if you have a lot of people going out looking at this book right now and holding on to it, it could still be scarce on the market at any given time. So the only reason you would be concerned is if everyone wanted to unload the book at once and then the market becomes flooded. Yeah. Demand now is above, or excuse me, supply now is way beyond what the demand is, and that's going to deflate the price. And that's what ebb and flow is always about, because in a collectibles market like with comic books, some people that sell and even flip, they always get a dirty looks, dirty names, and it's like dirty, but a lot of people really will hold on to comic books and and they're in their collection. Maybe it's a graded copy and they have it up on display and whatnot. And then maybe they want to go collect something else and they'll sell that book to go get something else. And it's not that they need to hold on to these things for lifelong possessions. And that could fluctuate the market as well, too. There's always in the back of the heads of a lot of people, obviously, when should I sell in order to increase profit? But there's a lot of reasons why people put books back on to the market. But this is a unique situation, similar to Miles, because you have a character coming into the Spider-Verse or these Spider-Verse films in animated form. And in their groundbreaking animated films. And that alone is, people are really buying into it. Right? But you most likely are still going to have these characters show up in live action in the MCU or, Sony verse shared with MCU, whatever. So there's a love for these characters inherently, but there's a lot going on in the spec market with the movies and the films and the animations that could still last a very long time, that could keep these books very, very healthy on the market.
It's an interesting time, especially for these books. Also, Into the Spider-Verse doesn't come out till, is it next year? We're going to find out in a hot sec.
Next year.
We're going to play the trailer.
Next fall, I think.
We're going to play the trailer. But again, it's an interesting time. But we all know the market will dictate what the more sought after book is.
Well, yeah, with that, again, guys, both of these books, in my humble opinion, are always going to be hot books when it comes to this character. You can't overlook that, because there's always going to be people that think differently. There's going to be those diehard people that are like, I'm not going to argue with anyone. Amazing Spider-Man 365 is his first appearance. I don't care what you say. And then there's going to be people that are like, I'm not going to argue with anyone. That's a gosh dang preview. I'm buying his first real appearance. So both of these books are going to be hot. Like to your point though, Jeff, will they do this in terms of which one wins the race? I don't know. Will they change over time? That's the big question.
Now here's the thing, Tishu, I'm not sure if you're advocating for Spider-Man 2099, the issue 1, but fancy covers are hard to press, stupid high print runs, 9.8 365s are hard because the holograms are usually scratched. The Spider-Man 2099 was a special cover as well. It was a foil, so I'm sure it has the same issues too. Now, again, I'm not sure if you're advocating. You're probably bringing up a point, especially how rare maybe 9.8s are on ASM 365. But we shall see. We shall see, Chris. But I'll tell you what. You know what I do know? This is a great top 10 hottest comics of the week. And we're going to end it right now. Right now. Good job, Chris. Everybody, round of applause for Chris. he does an excellent job each and every week, just laying it out indeed. All right, guys. So this is the end of our segment show, and now is the time where we're going to show the trailers. And if we get kicked off, we get kicked off. Normally, we get kicked off for the HBO or actually the Warner Brothers trailers that we show. So I don't anticipate it happening, but we want to show these off and just talk a little bit about them, especially this Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Looks exciting. Chris, let's just do it, shall we? Do it!
She was a bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a wreck. Crash at my place, baby, you're a wreck. Every time I'm leaving on you, you don't make it easy, no.
Miles!
Wish I could be there
Miles!
for you.
Miles! You got a minute?
Oh, what? Whoa, Gwen, how did you get? How have you been?
It's a long story. Is this the room you grew up in?
It is, but my dorm room is very adult.
Right. No, of course. Hey, are these your drawings?
What? No,
Oh,
no.
they're good. I missed you too.
Okay, so what are you doing here? I mean, I thought I'd never see you again.
Want to get out of here?
I'm grounded.
Bummer.
What?
Is Spider-Man grounded?
I mean, I
Man, that's awesome. Like, that is awesome. I'll tell you what, like, it gives me the same feeling I had when I saw the first one, which I thought was a special movie. You know, obviously you and I are the biggest Spider-Man fans we know. But that's not why it was special. I mean, it was special because it was Spider-Man. It was special because it was like something I personally had never seen before. You know what I mean? In the style, the tone, the texture of everything, right?
Yep.
And that trailer just hits on every mark that the movie did, and that gets me excited.
Yep. Agreed.
Like
100%. What you just said.
it just like to the point that first shot of where he's like flying through. It looked like what Spider-Man was doing when he was like flying through the whole thing. Like it was just things like that. It excites the hell out of me, guys. And granted, we are 10 months away from the release. I can't wait. And the hype is only going to increase for those characters. They're going to release more characters, more Spider-Verse characters that are going to be in there, Chris. It's going to be a frenzy with those books. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't. I can't tell you wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that fact, but it's going to be an interesting ride. Shit, Spider-Man's going to be hot for quite a while with No Way Home coming out next week. When's the video game come out, Chris?
Oh my God, yeah. Next
when
year
does that come out?
That's 2023, I think.
Okay, well then whatever. But like, even the tidbits that they're going to be giving out with Across the Spider-Verse, absolutely incredible. Really glad we got to share that with you and didn't get kicked off. And here we go, Chris. This is something that we don't have to wait as long for. The Book of Boba Fett. Guys,
oh yeah.
I think it's the 29th, which makes it a little less than 3 weeks away. Enjoy.
Left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. I am Boba Fett.
I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, Chris, let's play a game. And actually, you guys in the comments who are still here, let's play a game, all of us. I want one word to describe that trailer. Chris, go first. Or what you think the series will be, like, from that trailer. I have a word. I have one word.
I got 2 words. Can I use 2 words? Can I cheat?
Are they attached to each other?
Pretty much.
It's your show, so you can cheat, but I don't want anybody else cheating.
Star Wars.
Okay, that's
yeah. And you would really get why I said Star. Like I can't. I could say epic. I could say just the reason why I say Star Wars is because of what Star Wars means to me, and that's what I see this and I'm like Star Wars, and there's nothing else that I could say because of it being just that and it meaning that much.
Okay, that's. I thought I had the perfect word, but that kind of beats what I have to say. Oh. It beats it. You know, what you said, it beats it. But what I'm saying from this specific trailer is epic. And that's what I'm expecting from the whole series is epic. Chris, we get the backstory as to how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, I bet. We get just him being a badass and taking over the underworld. Is he going to be like... Is he going to be some sort of, I don't know, like kind of anti-hero? I don't know what he's going to turn into from this series because he did pull a hero card from The Mandalorian, right? That's fair to say. Is it going to continue? I don't know, but I'm excited as hell, man. The 29th, guys, it is just, God. I mean, Mike Butler, speechless, Prince Zodiac, Fire, Travis Tubbs is interesting. Comic Toby says Mandalorian. Dan De La Torre, I mean, Ominous is cool. Like, honestly. Yeah. 360 wins, by the way. Arousing, question mark? Screw you for making us laugh. Super Rad Redemption, that's a good, that's well played right there. Caleb is awesome. Oh, 360 with the epic. I knew we were, wait. 360 with the epic?
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Sure did. But anyways, I'm psyched, guys. I am, and like honestly, I don't know if we have any more looks on that show, but Jesus, man. 19 days away, Chris. 19.
I can't believe that there's only 2 more episodes of Hawkeye too.
I know that's kind of like it's a bit of a bummer, but we have this to like distract us from that.
Yeah,
so
we do.
All right, guys, that has been our show. This has been an epic show. We appreciate each and every one of you for spending time with us each and every week. We will be live on Sunday the 19th. We will be live on Sunday the 26th. And shit, Chris, this is going to be 3 Sundays in a row.
Yep.
But Chris, you have something that you want to kind of talk about real quick. What's happening next Friday?
Guys, next Friday, if you didn't know, I'm having my first live sale on the Whatnot app. And if you make a purchase, you will be automatically entered into win this beautiful, spectacular Spider-Man number 27 in a CGC 9.6 white pages. First, Frank Miller on Daredevil. So, guys, if you haven't downloaded the Whatnot app, please do so. Follow me at Journos Comics. No underscore, just at Journos Comics. We're going to hang out. We're going to have fun. I'm going to be selling some comics. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be some auction items. There's going to be some buy it now items. And two things about those buy it now items. One, you can go see the show. You can hit the notification bell on it. You can go see every book that I listed right now. I got details. I got grade, everything. And if it's a buy it now, you can buy it right now to secure it. You don't have to wait for the live show. Another thing about the buy it now prices, I am setting my buy it now prices at extremely fair prices. I'm using a few different techniques to price my books. I'm looking at eBay. I'm looking at everything online. But I guarantee every single one of my books that are a buy it now price are going to be well under what my comic shop prices their books, grade in book, etc. So if there is a Amazing Spider-Man number 1 whatever in a 7.0 on my comic shop for $12, I'll probably be selling mine for like 9 or 10. And my comic shop already has really fair prices. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. Just wanted to let everyone know that. But spread the word, guys. Share the love. Even if you just want to come to hang out and you necessarily aren't thinking about buying anything, I would love the support. So just follow me over there. And again, though, anyone who makes a purchase can win this beauty right here.
That sounds like, why wouldn't you? I mean, there's no comic book canon at the time. You guys should be watching the Whatnot.
6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern. Forgot to say
Yeah! Just do it, everybody. And we'll be back on Sunday.
Yep.
We haven't decided on time. That's embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. No time yet. Maybe 4 or 5 Pacific.
Probably 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Let's go with that. We'll keep you guys all in the loop on that.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm planning on seeing No Way Home on Sunday.
Okay. I'm seeing it on Friday.
No.
Oh, no. Are we not going to have a comic book canon next week?
Oh, we have to.
We must talk.
No Way Home movie times. We're going to do this live real quick, Jeff, if you don't mind.
Wait, did you buy your tickets?
No.
What do you mean? That's opening weekend. What are you kidding me?
Okay. There's a movie at 12:10. I could go to the movies. I could go because it's 2 hours. I could go to them. I could be back by 5 o'clock.
Heck yeah, man. You got plenty of time. That's going to happen. Get some food in you. You're going to be good, dude. You're going to be pumped.
I'm gonna be stoked too.
I'll tell you what, Chris. I did get tickets. I have the AMC, the subscription service. So I got tickets on Friday the 17th at 3:45 Eastern time. Theater's not that full. If it gets more full, I'm probably not gonna do it. So so I may not have seen it by the time we have our next comic book canon. Yeah.
All right. Fingers crossed that you do that.
I know. Anyways, y'all, thank you so much for joining us. It was a great episode. It was definitely ominous. Thank you, Dan, for that. Really, really, really appreciate that. But again, we appreciate you guys so much. We do have our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Dan De La Torre is a part of that. We have another huge person that donated a ton of great books to us. Chris showed it on his show before this one. It's going to be an exciting time. We got Tony from EGS. We got Kamikaze. We got a lot of good stuff. So if you guys haven't subscribed, please do. We want to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can start giving some crazy stuff away. Again, Chris, final words for the week. Thank you. Well done. Well done indeed. All right. And with that, y'all be good to yourself and be good to others. We'll see you next week. Peace.